Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, and in this video we'll be learning about Python classes. Oh no, not this class, but I will let you know soon. So let's see an example and learn about Python classes. So first let's learn how to add attributes to a class. Okay, so to create a class, we need to type the class keyword and type the name of the class. So usually when we name a class, the first letter of the word will be capital. For now, let's give pass because we're not going to writing anything now. We're not going to be writing anything now. So now let's see how to create an object. So first we'll type the name. It's like we're creating a variable only. So let's give user1 equal to user. So I'm just giving user because maybe we're trying to create a social media app. So we'll need some objects here. So let's create user here, and to give it some attributes. So it's like a variable assigned towards to the object. We can maybe user1 dot, which indicates that it's user1's, and we can name the ID as maybe 001, and let's use the username because of course you need a name. And so we'll type user1 dot name, and we'll give that as maybe John, and let's print it out. And like these types of attributes, we can't just give like print ID or print name. We have to call upon the object, that is user1, and then only we can access the variable. Now let's print user1 dot ID and print user1 dot name, and let's run this. And as you can see, we get the values we have updated here above. Now usually maybe many people will be working together, so they won't be working in one file. So there'll be like many other files which they create classes in other files. So let's see how we can do that also. Okay, so let's create a new file and call it users file and user.py. Okay, and here we're gonna copy paste this, and we'll paste it here. Let's change the title into using imports, because this is also something about imports. Maybe you'll get some knowledge about it. And let's import users.py. So import user. As you can see here, the user object is still erroring. That's because we haven't specified from which file it comes. So it's user.user and brackets. So that's how we use it. But if you have a lot of this objects, so you don't want to always use user.user. For that, you can just do from user import user with capital letter. So you're importing the class like directly, and then you don't need the user. And we have got this much. Now let's see how to create a constructor. A constructor is something that runs when an object is created, and we'll show you how to do that right now. Okay, so let's delete the object and let's go to the user.py, and let's create a function. Now this is not any function, and it is called initialization. So it like happens when you are creating an object. So like that's why it's called initiation, and it's compulsory so that you enter self. I mean, if you want it to be part of your class, then you have to enter self. Now let's give it some parameters like user ID and username. Now let's give it like some predefined values, like for that we should write self dot id. So let's give it the id equal to user id, which you're going to get from the class when you are initiating it. And so the name will be the username. Okay, so now let's get back to our main.py and create an object. So let's name it user1, and user1 equals to user, and inside that we'll give the parameters. So the ID, let's give it as 001, and let's give the name as John. And now, like we accessed our attributes, we can access it the same way. So let's give user1 dot ID and user1 dot name. User1 dot name. So now let's see how to create default values. So like it's like the user won't define it, and it'll be already defined while initialization. So for this you don't have to accept any parameters. We just have to go self, and we'll give the followers, because followers, the user doesn't decide how much followers, the starting followers, and let's put the followers equal to 0, and go to main.py, and let's print out the followers, and we'll get the same thing and same way. So it's user1 dot followers. Now let's see how to create methods. But methods are basically functions inside classes. So when the function belongs to the class, then it's called as a method. So now let's go to user.py. So let's delete this outward before we do that. And let's create a function called follow. So what it does, it follows some other users by using this. So let's just show you quickly. So let's create this. So let's define a function called follow and put self and the user who you want to follow. So it's actually an object. You're actually adding giving the parameter as an object. So let's the user they're gonna give us user dot followers. So the followers which their users are going to create, and let's add it by 1, and our self dot following. So the following number for us, let's set it as plus equal to 1. So that's self means the object which the follow function method is executed. And let's not forget to add self dot following also, because that's not already defined here. And okay, so there we go. So I'll say again, user is for the user they're going to give us, and self is for the particular object which is being executed, like the function which is being executed on the particular object. So now let's get back to main.py and create another object called user2, and let's give it a ID of 002, and let's give the name as Sam. Okay, let's say that user2 decides to follow user1. For that, we will run the function user2 dot follow, and the parameters were to enter an object. So let's enter user1, and let's print out the followers and following of user1 and the followers and followings of user2. So user 1 dot followers. Let's copy it and print user 2 dot followers. And let's print user 1 following. And copy it and print user 2 following. As you can see here, we have for user 1 we have 1 followers because user 2 followed it, and 0 following because user 1 didn't follow anyone. And for user 2 they have no followers, but they're following user 1, so this is given accordingly here. Okay guys, so that's it for this video. I hope you learned something new, and please make sure to subscribe, and thanks for watching.